Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
And today on Forget What You Heard, we're getting back to the divisions, baby. Football time is here. We got a month. It's an exciting time here on Forget What You Heard. Stay tuned. This is our second division. But before we go any further, how you doing, Brother Bear?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on here, man. It's a blast talking about these divisions. Getting that second one knocked out, man. The AFC North, man. Welcome in, baby.
Yeah, AFC North. It's an interesting division, to say the least. There's a lot going on, a lot of drama, a lot of he said, she said, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of heavy hitters in this one, man. I know, a lot of high expectations from teams overperforming and underperforming last year. What do we expect, man? A lot of turnover from teams that don't really have a lot of turnover normally. I am targeting the Steelers and the Ravens with that one. Quietly, they've had a lot of turnover for teams that have been very steady throughout the years and what they do, what they bring back and everything. But it's interesting, man. I think all teams in this division are built to succeed. It's just a lot of questions around a few of them, which I think will be the most intriguing topic today.
Yeah, I think this is one of the stronger divisions in football. They all, barring quarterbacks, they're all very strong teams. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think the Steelers are missing their quarterback, and Cleveland with Deshaun Watson. We don't know what's going on. But that's just an overview. Let's get into the details, the nitty-gritty. Let's get into the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. You're up to bat, baby.
That was not a Bengal. Can you do a Bengal? Yeah, that was pretty good, man. You looked like a Bengal just now, man.
I'm a jungle boy,
Dude,
man.
is it getting passive-aggressive in here, or is it just me?
I'm sweating already.
Yeah, that's how you know it's going to be a good pod. So for the Bengals, man, they were the Cinderella team last year, man. Made that Super Bowl run.
Yes, indeed.
It was hard to believe it. Jamar Chase emerged. What's Joe Burrow's nickname?
Joe
Breezy?
Cool, man. Joe Burr.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Shiesty.
Oh.
Lemonade stand doctor.
Yeah, well, that was the Cinderella team last year. They this offseason, they retooled the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Basically stayed pat on the defensive side of things. They signed La'el Collins. Yeah, but they upgraded the offensive line. They're bringing back the likes of Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. They brought in Hayden Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little addition there. What do you foresee happening to the Bengals? Are they the team to beat in the AFC North? Are they another, are they still a Cinderella? Are they a powerhouse? Are they elite in the AFC?
Yeah, I guess that's the burning question. Is this team for real? Or are we going to see, one of those teams that make a run at the playoffs and then, the next years they're just chasing that one season? But to me, in my opinion, man, I think this team is built to be successful moving forward, and I think that's mainly because of Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a good quarterback. I think he's shown it. He has that it factor. He can win games, and he's good, man. He gets football. So I think if I'm the Bengals, I think just having Joe Burrow alone keeps you afloat. I know the rest of the AFC North can't be thrilled to see that they went out and addressed their biggest weakness on offense, which is their offensive line. And it's kind of scary to see what Burrow and Chase and Higgins and Boyd all did behind a below-average offensive line last year to go bring in Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, La'el Collins, some really above-average offensive linemen. And I think that's a big deal, addressing their biggest weakness. So this offense could even take another step, and that's a kind of a crazy concept, a crazy idea to think about. Joe Burrow with more time in the pocket. What does that mean for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? Just more plays, longer time to get open. Plays will develop longer. It's just a huge thing for the Bengals, and I think that's a big reason why I think they're the real deal.
I think they're chasing the dragon. People have really high hopes for the Bengals, but there's such thing as a Super Bowl hangover, man.
You're smelling the hangover, huh?
Yeah, they're young. They have a young head coach. That was a Cinderella story. I think people are going to be, they have a target on their back now. They know Jamar Chase is a stud. They can't go easy. They did upgrade their offensive line. Joe Mixon is a great running back. My problem here, Luke, is the defensive side of things.
Okay.
They didn't do anything. The defense, I think you mentioned before the pod they led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, they had the most interceptions.
I think a lot of that has to do with luck.
I'd agree with that.
Right place at the right time. Because what I'm looking at here, brother, I'm seeing Eli Apple as a starting corner for the Cincinnati Bengals. That guy is, what is that term he used to say? Dog what?
Water?
Yeah, dog water, dude. That guy is the definition of dog water.
Yeah, I think he's not very good. But they did draft Cam Taylor-Britt, who could potentially be good, as well as Daxton Hill, who can play a slot corner for them if need be.
I like Dax. I like Dax.
He's solid. I think you're looking at them. I don't think you trust their edge rushers. I think that's where I'm looking at. Because their secondary, I think, is really good. With Jesse Bates, Von Bell, Dax Hill.
I like
Awuzie, Mike Hilton's fine. Cam Taylor-Britt could be just fine. Trey Flowers, too. Like, their secondary, to me, is really good, at least on paper. Like, it's maybe their corners are weak, but, like, Jesse Bates, Von Bell, and Dax Hill is probably the best unit.
Well, would you say their best edge rusher is Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah. I think so, like just pure pass rushing. I think Sam Hubbard probably overall might be better, but I think Hendrickson will lead the team in sacks. I think he did last year as well.
I think I was hoping for the Bengals, or for them to have a better shot at, getting back to the promised land, even to the playoffs maybe, would have that game breaker on defense. They don't really have that, like a game changer, would you say? I mean, I know Jesse Bates is a baller.
Yes.
He's a great player, great safety.
Top 5 safety, yeah.
But in the other levels of the defense, I'm not seeing that, dude. And nothing strikes me. That's why I mean, the offense is great. It's going to be clicking all cylinders. They have great weapons. Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, even Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst. They're probably going to, put up a lot of numbers, but can that defense keep the other offense at bay?
Yeah, I guess, that's a big question. But getting back to maybe them not having that one true, difference maker on defense, I think just like as a whole, though, bringing back 7 defensive players, free agent, who could have signed elsewhere, but they decided, all 7 of them decided to come back. So I just think, that the collective group as a whole coming back together, being the 4th-ranked defensive team last year, I just think they just work so good together as a group. I think they understand the defense. They understand where they need to be. And I think that is more important to a defense than some guy who can, alter a game. If they can just be steady and be above average, I would say they overachieved last year defensively. I think that's where you're getting at too.
Yeah, I would agree.
So if they even just stay average, I still think this team is still destined to make a good run, and they just can't fall below average is where I think they'll see a lot of trouble.
Is Joe Burrow a top 5 quarterback?
No, it's hard for me to put him in the top 5.
Is this his 3rd year?
He's a top 5 young quarterback, I would say. Like top 5 guys you would build your franchise around, I would probably put him in there, yeah.
Is it his 3rd year?
Yes.
Jury's still out on Joe Burrow for me.
It's hard to say that, though, man. His rookie year, he showed that he was good. He got injured. But, just that run last year, it's hard to just be like, I'm not sure.
Can I say it or no?
Because the numbers were there.
He's good, man. He's got that cool, calm, and collectedness about him.
Yes. I think that goes a long way in the NFL. That confidence.
He smokes cigars in the locker room.
Just having that confidence, knowing that he's the best player out there, that goes a long way.
Especially in the locker room.
Yes, absolutely.
But I want to talk about someone else on this. I think he gets overlooked a lot. Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
I expect big things from Joe Mixon this year. Yeah, he finally stayed healthy last year. He had a great year. But I'm expecting more.
Really?
Is that a little lofty expectations? Am I putting too much on JoJo Mixon's back right now, man?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, are you expecting more because of the improved offensive line, or just
exactly.
you think his ceiling is higher than what it was last year?
Yeah, I think the offensive line helps immensely.
Yeah.
And they saw what he could do behind a bad offensive line. I think his usage, I mean, he's going to be a workhorse, which he's always kind of been, you know. I know they have Samaje Perine and Chris Evans, but, you know, Joe Mixon is such a talented, he's a do-it-all guy that, you know, the last of a dying breed, you know. And I just think he gets overlooked, man. And I expect a big year for Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I agree with that for the most part. I think he's underrated, overlooked. I think he was top 5 in carries, rushing yards, and touchdowns last year at the running back position. And it's hard to not expect him to continue that or even be better with the offensive line improvements, like you said. I think there is some speculation to the Chris Evans hype. I know they've kind of been talking about him in camp, maybe seeing a larger role, which in real-life football could be beneficial to keeping Joe Mixon healthy and fresh, which is probably ideal because I like Chris Evans. I think he's a great change of pace. I mean, they even played Samaje Perine even during the playoff runs, and he's just not very good. He just stinks, and I think they should give Chris Evans that change of pace role. And but other than that, I think Joe Mixon is a workhorse. I just hope that they sprinkle in Chris Evans rather than Perine. I think that'd be a little more exciting.
Is there another Chris Evans?
Yeah, the actor.
Is he Captain America?
Oh yeah.
I knew that every time you say that name, that his picture goes into my head. Chris Evans.
Secretly, Captain America is the running back on the Bengals.
I wonder, he'd probably be pretty. He looks like an athlete, doesn't he?
Who, the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fit guy.
He's fit, man.
He does his thing.
Are you a fan
of the actor? I don't know, actually.
I'm indifferent as well. I don't know.
I think he plays Captain America real good. I can't really recall any other films. I think he was in Fantastic Four.
He was in Knives Out. Did you ever
see
him?
He was good in that.
Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I'll say that. I just don't know if I like him as a person.
I don't know if he has the versatile acting skills.
Yeah, he seems to do the same stuff because he's in that new movie with Ryan Gosling where he's like a villain with a mustache.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of like a bad guy.
But he played that character in Knives Out really well, like the kind of douchey brother.
Yeah, he did. Maybe that's just who he is. But moving on, do you have any questions, concerns that you'd like to ask about the Bengals? Any thoughts?
Not for the most part. I want to shout out Logan Wilson, the linebacker. I think he's really good, very underrated. No one ever talks about him, but he's their tackling machine. He can get up to 140 tackles. Not a big name guy, but he's a big reason why their defense was really good last year. But that's really about it. I think Hayden Hurst could be interesting for this team. I think he's an improvement to C.J. Uzoma, if you ask me that. He's super athletic. He looks really good in camp. And if you play fantasy football, if you got them deeper leagues, he might be a target for you. But that's really about it, man. I'm ready to get into predictions and the record.
All right, man. What's your record for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2022?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at their schedule. They have a lot of winnable games. They play the AFC East, NFC South, and AFC South as well. So a pretty nice schedule, a lot of winnable games. But I have them going 11-6. I think there's games they'll slip up, especially in this AFC North. Every game is going to be competitive.
It's always a fight.
It's going to be low scoring, just battles. 21-17, 21-24, just games like that. But I think this team's good enough to beat good teams as well. I know they have Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Tennessee, Baltimore. Those are tough games, but I think the Bengals' offensive firepower will be able to propel them in some of these games. So I think 11-6, is maybe like their base. I think they can go 12-5. I think that's definitely reachable. but I have them going 11-6.
Fair enough. I have the Bengals going 10-7. You mentioned a lot of things. It's a tough division, man. It's always there's some good defenses in this division, dude. It's going to be some tough sledding. But like I said before, this offense is potent, you know. But like I said before, I just have worries about the defense and just a little bit of hangover. People know what to expect now from these young Bengals. They're not going to surprise no one anymore. It's they're going to be prepared and ready to play against them, man. So I have a drop off. I guess you could call me a hater, man, but 10-7 is what I got, man.
I think that's fair, man. You're not as high. I understand. And Super Bowl hangovers are a real thing. Let's not gloss over that like it's nothing. It happens a lot.
Yeah, there's some teams that make it to the Super Bowl out of nowhere, and then they never see it for 20 years after. Mm-hmm. There's always those lofty expectations. It's a lot for an organization, especially Cincinnati, who hadn't made the playoffs in 30 years, 20 years. So it's like they could be riding this pink cloud, and then, it's back to reality. You got to go out there and play every Sunday just like you did. There's no guessing. We know what you are now, Cincy. You're a promising young team, man.
Yeah, I saw a T. Higgins interview, and it was
I love me some T. Higgins, boys.
He's very knowledgeable. He's just a very smart young man, and he's very realistic because it's funny that he understands. He was like, this organization in the past, hasn't really done anything. I understand why the expectations would, kind of be like, oh, this team, organization has a, kind of a dirty look or a sour taste because Marvin Lewis, all those times they never make it to the playoffs. And he understood that. He's like, yeah, I understand the doubt, but it's like we have Joe Burrow, and it's completely different now. We're this young team, up and coming. We made the Super Bowl, and he basically was just like, we have Joe Burrow. And, they didn't have Joe Burrow then, but we have him now. So.
That's one thing about Joe Burrow, man. They have the utmost confidence. That's something
it's amazing.
As a young quarterback that he is already doing, that has control of that locker room and the trust. That's crazy.
It is.
That's why he's different.
Yep.
So I can't hate on Joe Burrow.
I just thought it was cute at T. Higgins. He's a cute guy too.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Huge.
Man, we saw that interview with him and Jamar Chase. He towers over even Tyler Boyd. He's a
alpha.
He's an alpha to behold.
Yes.
He's a scary. I would not want to be a corner that has to go against him every snap.
Yeah, with that being said, the Bengals do, in my opinion, have the best receiving core. They have two alpha receivers, and then Tyler Boyd would be a great number 2 on any offense. You know?
Tyler Boyd's been very, very Mr. Reliable there.
Yeah, he had 800 yards last year, and people act like, people act like he didn't do much, but he's right there with them, man. He's a great player.
Dang, let's get into some bold predictions, man.
Shall we?
Shan't we?
We shall.
We sure did. I'm gonna piggyback on some T. Higgins stuff, man. I got T. Higgins as the number 1 wide receiver for this Bengals offense.
Yeah.
The student becomes the teacher.
Wow.
Yes, Jamar Chase is a phenomenal talent.
Crazy.
Goodness gracious, but T. Higgins is a phenomenal talent, and he's got the size, strength, hands, the 50-50 balls, man. The fades in the end zone. He's a huge target, is what I think over time, Joe Burrow's gonna notice that he's got a freak of nature over there, and T. Higgins is gonna take full advantage. I'm not saying Jamar Chase is. It's gonna be 1A, 1B. Not like, Batman and Robin. I'm talking, they're right neck and neck. But T. Higgins just, he ascends a little more because people kind of put him on the back burner because Jamar Chase had that incredible rookie year. And I don't blame them for doing it. But let's not forget, T. Higgins is still a monster. Jamar Chase is a monster. So I just have that bold prediction. T. Higgins, number 1 alpha male on the Bengals wide receiver core.
Yeah, I really like that bold prediction. Because like you said, people were so Jamar Chase.
They're blinded by him.
And then
I don't blame them.
T. Higgins is right there on the side, running the 40 right next to him, right neck and neck. And I really like it because the stats will almost, support what you're saying. Last year, when both of them played in the same games, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins had more targets at the end of the year in both games where they both played. So T. Higgins is no slouch. Like you said, he's an alpha. He's a number one receiver in the NFL on any team, man. He's a stud.
But go ahead. Is there a caveat?
No, there's no. I'm not saying he would go to any team and be the number one. I'm just saying he is the number one receiver in the NFL.
Absolutely.
My first bold prediction is I'm gonna give love to Dax Hill, man, because I have been toting him coming out of college in Michigan. I was hoping he would, be an early first rounder to the Eagles maybe. But Daxton Hill wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I'm not sure how he's been looking at camp. I think he's been, struggling a little bit, but it's just training camp, and we expect that out as a rookie. But this defense last year was number one in interceptions. If they can replicate that this year, translate it. Maybe, this turnover thing is the real deal, the way they scheme their defense. And Dax Hill can help translate that, and help keep it going. And he is a big reason why they can, get a lot of turnovers. And he's special too, man, because he's going to be playing safety. He'll play slot corner. He'll be moved around, so he'll get his opportunities just to get a lot of tackles, to get turnovers, and just a bold prediction: Dax Hill wins Rookie of the Year.
That's very bold. I'd like to know the odds for that.
It's not high, man, because it's always Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
All they need to get is like 8 sacks, and they'll be in the lead. But
Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, so it's like you said, it's bold.
It's hard for DBs to get any award, really.
Can you remember the last one? Micah Parsons.
Has Ramsey ever won anything?
He might have won it. He might have won it. Yeah, he might have won it. Well, yeah, Trayvon Diggs didn't do it, I don't think. Micah Parsons did it last year. Yeah, I can't recall, but it's a bold prediction, man.
I like it. I also like Dax Hill.
You like him?
Yeah, I think it was a good pick.
Cool.
Another bold prediction I have is the Bengals don't even make the playoffs.
Ooh.
The hangover is real. They get off to a slow start. They start thinking their poop don't stink. It happens, man. Maybe their heads get too big. They think they don't have to work as hard as they once did. They maybe take a couple of plays off, which is never a good thing. But it's just a bold prediction I have, and it is in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, it's bold, but it definitely is, man. Can I give you the list of teams they play after their bye week, Week 10?
Let's hear it.
So Week 11, they have the Steelers, followed by Tennessee Titans, Kansas City Chiefs, the Browns, Tampa Bay, New England, Buffalo, and Baltimore.
That's a gauntlet.
So if they have an injury to, defensive injuries, maybe one of their star gets down, those are some teams that are going to be putting up fights. Those are all borderline playoff teams. That's what 2, 4, 6, 8 teams, and they have to get through the second half of their season. So like we said, man, NFL season's crazy. 2022 is going to be insane. No predictions. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Injuries, anything like that,
Yeah, absolutely. So I can see that. It's definitely an interesting one.
You got another bold one?
Yeah, Hayden Hurst goes for 800 yards, 8 touchdowns.
800 yards, 8 touchdowns. What did CJ Uzomah do?
He had those 3 or 4 weeks, remember, where he was had probably 400. Yeah, I would guess he had like 400, 600 yards, maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns.
He's on the Jets now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hayden Hurst is better than him.
He is 100%.
Better tight end.
He's faster. He's just better.
He had a kind of a rough go of things in the Falcons, didn't he?
Yeah, hear me out, man. Hayden Hurst was drafted by Baltimore. Always been behind Mark Andrews. He goes to Atlanta behind the generational Kyle Pitts. Now he comes to the Bengals. He's the number one. No competition. Drew Sample is not going to play. Hayden Hurst is the number one tight end. He's an improved Uzomah. If something happens to Tyler Boyd or Higgins, Hurst is going to feast. And he's a good red zone weapon. He's always, even with Baltimore, he would always sneak those touchdowns. But now he has his opportunity to be the number one tight end and probably the best offense in football. So 808 for Aiden Hurst.
I like that. I think it's in the realm of possibility.
It's a little bold, but
he could feast out there.
I like him. I think he's a good tight end.
I mean, man, that offense is just like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You ever been in Golden Corral with jorts on?
I probably missed the boat with the jorts, but I have been on there with the
You gotta wear the
bikini.
jorts, so whenever you have that third chicken fried steak, you take the button out, and you got more room to go for a third platter.
Oh, you gotta let it loose.
Tell you what, man. I got another. This is a bold prediction. I guess not. This is kind of a statement.
Okay.
The Bengals went to the Super Bowl on the suit tails or the angel wings of Harambe last year. They dedicated that run to Harambe, and I think the only way they prevent a Super Bowl hangover is to have Harambe have an honorary locker in the locker room, which no one touches, no one sits in, no one touches his cleats. This is a way to ensure success going forward. His picture's in there, his number 77 is retired. And if they do make the playoffs again, I think they should take the next step and retire his jersey on the field, on Paul Brown Field. Retire it. If they want to keep the success, because you have to pay respects to those that have fallen before us. And
Sacrifice.
Harambe is the biggest sacrifice in Cincinnati city history. Pay your respects. Everything will be fine. Don't forget. Gone but not forgotten. Harambe. Thank you.
Wow, yeah, that would be an iconic scene. Absolutely. I would go down in history as the greatest moment in NFL history. Not only that, but, maybe they could do a little sacrificial thing going on, man.
Oh, man, you're trying to get Aztec on it.
Let him go. Harambe comes down from the clouds with a bucket of chicken and some lettuce wings. And he just lets it out, man.
Is this a hologram or is this real?
No, this is real life. And then he mumbles some words that no one can understand. It's not meant to be understood. And then he dissipates into fog. But he's in all the Bengals' mind.
Wow.
And you can't erase him. He's always in there.
Now that would be one of the most beautiful moments, probably in not just NFL history, but sports history, if that were to happen.
Yes.
I like that, Luke. I'm glad you expanded on that, because we needed to just let people know what the Bengals are playing for.
Right.
And why. Okay, so thank you for that. That was a beautiful moment on Forget What You Heard, and I think I'm about to cry. Please excuse me.
Take your time.
All right, I'm back. Let's move on. Or did you have more to...
No, let's go, man.
Okay, man, yeah, we can't. I don't know how much Bengal and Harambe talk I can take, dude.
Another 30.
All right. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
I'm a steel curtain and I'm ready to do some work.
Royal Rumble.
That was their Steeler impression. That was pretty good, man. For the Steelers, man, this was the changes you were talking about. We had Big Ben for so long. Luke has a hate relationship.
We've been rolling around the window when he comes.
He has a hate
We'll be rolling
with Big
around.
Ben. He's gone, so Luke's, he's a happy guy. He's a happy camper.
Happy guy.
So, but the thing with the Steelers, the biggest question is the quarterback situation. They signed Mitch Trubisky. They have Mason Rudolph. They drafted, what's his name? Kenny Tiny Paws Pickett.
Okay.
So they had a little QB competition going down in Pittsburgh. They signed Deontay to an extension, Deontay Johnson. They got Najee, phenomenal rookie. They drafted George Pickens. They still have Pat Freiermuth. What's your diagnosis of the Steelers situation and their season coming up, man? What's your questions? What you got going on in your head?
Yeah, you mentioned the departure of Big Ben, which, maybe it is a bright spot. But that also adds a different quarterback question. What are we looking at, man? Mitch Trubisky is not a good quarterback. I don't care what anyone says.
He's been bad in camp.
This isn't his second breath. This isn't his second chance. This is
the second wind.
This is Mitchell Trubisky, man. Stinkwater. To me, it's a matter of Kenny Pickett or you trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the only success. I don't care about Mason Rudolph. Yeah,
he's been scorching it.
He's been good, but we all know what he is, man. He gets hit in the head with helmets, and that's about it. That's all he's good for. And I tell you what, though, man, they've done an absolutely outstanding job. This is another one of those organizations where not a lot of turnover, but they absolutely crushed the NFL draft. And they did that by adding weapons. So no matter who the quarterback is, they will be surrounded by great receiving options, no doubt about that.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are any of these three quarterbacks, doesn't matter which one, an upgrade from the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger?
I don't think so.
Big Ben was really, really bad. Hard to watch. He made the Steelers' offense very stagnant, boring. There's a lot of check down to Najee.
But am I gonna tell you that Mason Rudolph, the backup for Big Ben last year, will be a step up? No, I don't think so. Do I think Mitch Trubisky will be?
Can I
don't think Mitch Trubisky's very good.
I want to push back. I think they can move a little bit. I think they can make throws that Ben couldn't last year. I think it's an upgrade. As crazy as that sounds.
In my opinion, I think like Ben Roethlisberger, his arm talent wasn't there. He obviously can't move, but he's experienced. So his football IQ is much higher than these guys. He makes the right throws. He knows when to check it down to Najee. He knows when to throw it to Deontay. And like I don't know, like you have to be good at football. You have to be smart at football to make those decisions.
He's smarter than all of these quarterbacks. So,
and like because a young Kenny Pickett, you're gonna throw. He might be more talented than Ben, but you throw him out there, you could have games where he's 9 for 21 with 2 picks. Like that's not something Big Ben would do.
Yeah, he's gonna make the smart play. I see what you're saying. But aside from, they have a lot of weapons.
Yes.
Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens is looking like a freak. Did you ever see his one-handed catch?
I've been watching him like I've been watching my steak cook on a grill.
Did you see the one where he dove on the ground and caught it one-handed?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the craziest catches I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I love George Pickens. I loved him coming out. He's a second-round pick only because he was trying to fight the interviewers, pre-combine, interview stuff, which is cool, man. That's a guy you want on your team, man. He doesn't lack confidence. He knows he's a stud, and he is a stud. He's a freak, man. He's going to start from day one, no doubt about it.
George Pickens is a guy that it's fate on sight.
Yes.
He's not going to back down. I really like him.
Dude, his talent is unreal. He can be an alpha in this league, man. I believe that.
But let's get to the strength of this team.
It's not their offensive line.
It's not. It's their defense as a whole.
Okay.
These guys are they always seem to have, that's what they call them, the steel curtain, man.
Mm-hmm.
They got TJ Watt. The best, by golly.
Oh, man, I'm believing.
Cam Hayward. Devin Bush. If he can get, if he's seeing his therapist and he's getting his mental health taken care of, he's a stud. He can be good. They signed Miles Jack. They got Levi Wallace, Terrell Edmonds, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cameron Sutton. They're stout, man. They're always stout. They're going to be good. They're going to make games low scoring. So the Steelers, if their offense struggles, they'll still be in a lot of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin. I can't believe we've talked this much about the Steelers without mentioning Mike Tomlin. Great head coach. Never had a losing record. Will it continue this year? Let's hear from the little guy, Lou.
That's the recipe for the Steelers.
Mikey?
That's what I like. Their quarterback situation is obviously an issue. I mean, it's yet to be seen, but going into it, we're not sure. But it's Mike Tomlin, the defense, and the rushing game. I think that's the part that makes me think, maybe this team can win more than 5. This isn't a 5-win team on paper. I mean, this defense is top 10. Najee Harris was a dog. So, like, I ride with Mike Tomlin. I truly believe he's the best coach in football. And, like, I can't count out the talent on this roster and not having them win at, 7, 8, 9, 10 games just solely based off having a great coach, a great defense, and a good running game to go along with their receiving weapons. Literally, the only weakness on the team is a quarterback.
Right.
If you were to ask me what I would do with this situation, I would trade whatever I need to get Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care if we got to see Kenny Pickett, we got to see, Trubisky get a chance. Like, no. Like, we go get Jimmy Garoppolo. He gives us the best chance to win right now with this win now team in this division. That's my solution. That's what I would do. They're a quarterback away from being right back on top.
I just feel like the Steelers are an organization that wouldn't do that.
But they're also not an organization that would draft Kenny Pickett.
They drafted Big Ben.
Yeah, but you don't draft a quarterback in the mid-20s expecting him to be like the next freak. Like, that happens once every 20, 40 years.
I've seen it.
Rodgers.
Exactly.
He ain't no Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is taking psychedelics on it.
He ain't no Aaron Rodgers, bub.
Oh, I'm seeing colors and I'm smelling stars.
But I like Larry Ogunjobi. I really like T.J. Watts, a Defensive Player of the Year, freak. And their defense is really good, for sure.
What do you think about Chris Boswell?
Shout out to him for getting paid, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, he got an extension.
Where did he go to college?
Rice?
Good man.
Rice University.
Welcome to all right.
Yeah, man, he was good. He was like elite like 3 years ago, but he's still been really good. 88% field
There was
goal.
that 1 year he stunk though. Was it
2 years ago?
Yeah, that was bad.
And then like people forgot about him last year, but he was 88%, 98 from extra point. So that's pretty good, man. Congratulations on that. They have Presley Harvin too, man. The
Is
punter.
that the big punter?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that guy's got a cannon for a leg.
Yeah, he's pretty good on it.
And he's got a Tupperware for his stomach.
He can swallow it up.
Yeah, steel curtain, steel belly.
What do you think about Najee Harris this year, man? What do you expect? Do you expect him to continue to carry that load?
Come on, man. There's reports at the beginning of training camp that they're going to lessen his load. Who are they going to go to? Benny Smell?
Nope.
I don't see it happening. Maybe they take off, 20 carries. I don't know. I mean, not much. He's going to be he's too good. He's their best running back by far. He's their best weapon out of the backfield. He does it all. He's good at everything. He's a workhorse, man. He's great. I think he'll have a better year.
In terms of efficiency?
Efficiency, his yards per carry.
I'm just concerned, man, because it's the same offensive line as last year. They added James Daniels from the Chicago Bears. He was solid. But it's the same offensive line, literally probably the worst offensive line, at least bottom 3 offensive line in football. So, like, the efficiency for Najee, I don't know if it'll improve. I mean, only if it does, it's minimal. And then probably less catches, a little less work on the ground. But he's going to be the bell cow. He's got to be.
He'll have the opportunities, is what I'm saying.
They didn't score a lot of rushing touchdowns, not a lot of yards, but we'll see. I mean, the receiving weapons will definitely help him out, too. Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, the Muth is Luth.
Yeah, I'll put him in around me.
Do you have any bold predictions on it?
Yeah, George Pickens leads the team in receiving.
Come on, man. That's my first one. I said George Pickens emerge as alpha, leads teams in receiving yards, breaks Steelers' rookie record.
Wow, I like that a lot. It's bold, man, considering what they got with the other options in their QB play. I mean...
Can you riddle me this?
Sure.
Do you remember Hines Ward?
Yes.
Do you know what college he went to?
Yes.
What?
Georgia.
You know where George Pickens went?
Georgia.
Coincidence?
Yes.
Read into the Da Vinci Code. There's something going on deeper than all of this.
I think... so does that mean Deontay Johnson plays slot, or is Claypool in the slot?
I would assume Deontay, right?
He's not going to play that flanker? I guess Claypool can play that.
Yeah, he's a mystery to me, Chase Claypool. He could either be really good or not be very good.
I wonder if they'll play Pickens at the X. Like he'll be the alpha on this offense.
He should be.
I think
Eventually,
he might.
Eventually he will be.
I think he's gonna start there. I think he's that good. I think he's been showing that. I think in camp. I think he's that good at camp. They're just like, dude, this guy's better than Claypool and Deontay for sure.
Yeah, I mean, having those two guys all three of those guys.
It's
and
crazy.
Pat, yeah.
And Calvin Austin.
I forget about him.
But maybe we're speaking too highly. I mean, it's just his rookie year. But we just love his talent as a prospect. But, shoot, yeah, bold prediction will definitely be Pickens leads the team in receiving, and he's the best, which is extremely bold.
Yeah, let's do the record. Sorry.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, I bypassed that.
No problem.
Detour.
Go ahead.
I have the Steelers going 9-8.
You won't let them go down, huh?
Another winning record. I'm doing it for Mike Tomlin. Defense. I think they're going to be in every game, man.
Yeah.
Like they said, that defense is going to keep it low scoring. Give them a fighting chance. So, they'll be a little bit above 500. If they, figure out the QB situation, maybe they have something. And Mitch just sounds like he's having a very poor time in Pittsburgh. But maybe Mason Rudolph, they give him 2 helmets to wear. So if one is removed, he's still got a second one. And I think that could help his mental health in terms of not being scared on the field. So that could be one thing, and he could actually be pretty good. Kenny, tiny paws. We haven't seen much from him, but you never know, man.
Do we see Kenny Pickett at some point in this year, do you think? They have to, right?
Yeah, I'd say, 6 weeks in.
And they just roll with him for the rest of the year?
I guess it depends on the situation. If it's not looking good, Mason stinks, Mitch stinks. Why not, man?
You think they roll with Trubisky from the gate?
From the reports, it sounds like they're leaning Mason Rudolph.
It will start week 1? That's sick in the head.
But he's been there, he knows everything that's going on.
Is Kenny Pickett the first quarterback to come in if they play poorly?
Yeah, I think he's got the best shot of being the first rookie quarterback to play.
What about, so if Trubisky stinks, do they go to Pickett or Rudolph next?
I'd say Rudolph.
Okay.
I think the Steelers are very by the book.
Yeah.
They're not going to just give the keys to Kenny and say, here you go, have a nice time. I think he's going to have to earn some spots.
Why did they take Kenny Pickett?
What?
Why did they take him?
Your guess is as good as mine.
He
went to Pittsburgh University, dude.
I still can't believe that. But it's fine. It is what it is.
Tiny Paul's got a chance to play.
I have the Steelers going 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's crazy. We've been talking them up, but
it's not crazy.
A lot of tough games on their division. Buffalo are in their schedule. Cincinnati twice. Buffalo this year. Tampa Bay, Philly, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Las Vegas. Just tough, man. A lot of tough games. I don't trust their quarterback situation. But them being 7-10, I will say, if they do make the move for Jimmy G, hear me out, Mike Tomlin, I will have them going 9-8.
So Jimmy G moves that needle for you.
2 games. Yes, indeed. I think they're improved with Jimmy G. Jimmy G brings you stability. He brings you the smart play that Ben Roethlisberger did. They were a pretty solid team, but I do think Jimmy G at this point of his career would be better than Big Ben.
What about Sam Darnold?
No, dude. You like Trubisky, man. You go get Darnold too, then.
Who do you think's better, Mitch or Darnold? If you had to pick one.
No, I don't know, man.
Pick one. Or forever hold your peak.
If I had to pick one to start for my team, I'd probably take Darnold.
I would too.
Really?
Yeah, he's younger, isn't he?
Over Trubisky? Man, people are going to hate us for that, probably.
Why?
Because Sam Darnold stinks.
He just sees ghosts, man. We talked about how we fix that.
But the thing with Darnold, though, is that even last year in Carolina, he had those 4 games in a row. He was running touchdowns.
Weren't they 4-0?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of lit the world
One of them was
fire.
against the Texans.
Something like that's going to happen this year. There's going to be some, like Zach Wilson or something.
Oh, just kind of blow up?
Like the first, 5 weeks of the...
What if it's Trubisky?
I wouldn't mind.
The team's good enough to be good with average quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
So if he's just average and improves a little bit, this team will be a lot better than we think, I think.
You got any more bolds?
Shoot, I will give you... no, I don't have one, actually. Stephen Tuitt retired, which is sad, but...
I have a bold prediction.
All right.
Chase Claypool dates Jackson Mahomes to get into Patrick Mahomes' head. And if that's not a football guy, I don't know what is.
Wow.
They may not even be in like playoff contention. They're not even in the division, but he's going out of his way to do it for the boys.
Wow, that's very hardcore.
Yeah. And they TikTok, and it's real fun and loving situation.
But he does it all in spite of Patrick Mahomes.
Like, Jackson Mahomes creeps his way back into the NFL scene, because right now he's a leper. We're not letting him in, right, Luke?
No, he's not allowed.
But if Chase gets him back in, there's nothing we can do about it.
No, we'll just kick Chase Claypool out, too.
I wouldn't mind one bit. The Canadian Momberg.
Yeah, Claypool's interesting, too, man. He had that really nice rookie year. Last year he had some good splash plays, but is he a guy that can improve? Like a guy who can be even better than what we've seen?
I think he's got the talent, the physique to be a stud. We saw
he's got the alpha
year.
Size, yeah. He's got the speed, and
I could see him. I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks out.
Really?
And he's like really, really good.
Wow, I like that too.
That's why I'm scared in fantasy. I don't want to touch him, but at the same time, he's intriguing.
He's very intriguing.
But
maybe it's a change of scenery.
It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but at the same time, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. Don't test me.
Yeah, I don't have anything against him. I'd like to see Pickens emerge, like him and Deontay, like moving forward, and then Claypool kind of being expendable, and then going to like a news team, like maybe the Packers make a move for him. I like
that scenario a lot. That's weird.
Yeah.
You just come up with that?
Yeah, just give him like a good opportunity and see what he can do. And
What's his nickname?
Maple Mamba?
It's not the Maple Mockingbird?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I thought that's what it was.
No, Maple Mamba is RJ Barrett, I think. I don't know what his nickname is.
The Maple
Macaroon.
Manatee.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
it for me.
That's it for me on the Steelers. You want to move on?
Yes, please.
Where do you want to go? You want to go down to Cleveland?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, man, that place is the armpit of America.
No, that's Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, come on, man. We're not even talking about him this episode. You always got to bring him up, man.
Hey, man, you started saying
that's
armpit.
hasty, man.
Armpit of America, man.
Hey, man, you're getting passive-aggressive. I told you I felt it in here.
What do you mean?
Don't talk about them Detroit boys, man.
That's
Good
not
people.
passive, man. I'll tell it to them face.
Yeah, that's true. It's very blunt and straightforward. The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of news swirling, especially Deshaun Watson suspended for 6 games. However,
Prison.
Goodell, lawyered up. He's going after him. He's going after him for a whole season. I'm hearing that it's most likely he's not going to play this year. What are you hearing, Luke? What is your reporters telling you?
6 games, man. NFL doesn't care about women.
Hey, come on, man. We got to suspend him, dude.
I mean, dude, he got 6 games. I know there's an appeal. But, I mean, what are they going to appeal? The judge gave him 6 games, back to the drawing board.
They can move. They can not do the hearing and Deshaun can't play. They keep moving it back.
They can do that, but I also, if I'm not wrong, I think Goodell can lay a suspension on him. Maybe
it's the commissioner's exempt list or something. Right.
And I think, maybe the NFLPA's changed since, but he gave Zeke that 6 games. He was like, you did this, you're getting 6 games. That was Goodell's ruling. That wasn't a judge. And so it's probably changed since then, but I'm surprised he didn't. I don't know why they took it to court. I guess maybe Deshaun Watson's side made him too, but I'm pretty sure Goodell could just be like, you get a year. He's the commissioner.
Well, for me, I'm assuming he's not playing this year.
Okay.
So that's what my record's gonna show. Thinking as a football person, Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback and would make this team very interesting. They brought in Amari Cooper. They drafted David Bell. They still have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Signed Ernest Johnson. They still have David Njoku. They got a solid offensive line. They got a Myles Garrett, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. They got a lot going on.
Good team.
I think one of the best secondaries too. I'd say maybe even top.
They've got an awesome secondary.
Yeah, they have a lot of pieces that could. But with me, Jacoby Brissett. He's had the flashes with Indy and New England, but we saw him in Miami. He's kind of who we thought he was. He's just a backup. He's a journeyman.
Where does Jacoby Brissett land on the list of backup quarterbacks?
Shoot. I mean, he's probably in the top half. I don't know.
Top half?
Right?
You don't think he's like one of the better backups? I mean, he's backed up, Tom Brady?
He's top 10.
Garoppolo, Andrew Luck, Tua Tagovailoa, and somebody else in there. And when he comes in and play, like the Patriots, Brissett was pretty good. He was okay when Andrew Luck retired, I think. They were bad, but and then last year with Tua, he's all right.
He's all right. That's what he is. He's a backup quarterback. But I'm starting to see a trend. For a backup, he sure does start a lot.
He does play a lot.
He brings bad juju.
Hey, come on, man. He's not that bad.
Brissett's got something up his sleeve with that voodoo magic.
I mean, can Brissett be better than what Cleveland had at quarterback last year?
No.
He can't be better than an injured Baker and Case Keenum.
Whatever Case Keenum did, he can do that.
You think he can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just intrigued because, I don't know.
But in all honesty, I've been thinking about it. He doesn't have to do a lot on this team. It's a run-first offense, a lot of play action. There's going to be, he's going to make easy throws, really, Maybe the big throw every now and again. He just has to manage the game with that run. Mm-hmm. With those two running backs, you just got to manage the game. I think Jacoby's good at that. I think he's that's why he's, been around and he's, done well.
He's in a good position.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect team for him. However, he doesn't move the needle to more, I don't think.
No, he's not the game changer of Deshaun Watson.
Right. I mean, that we don't even have to talk about that.
Right,
everyone knows that,
Yeah.
But it's kind of, as a football fan, this is me talking as a football fan, it's kind of, I don't want to say disappointing. I don't think disappointing is the right word, but I would like to see what this team looks like with Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely.
Maybe selfishly. But I also think he should be suspended a year, So once he serves a suspension, we can talk about it again or whatever happens.
Selfishly, I think everyone wants to see Deshaun Watson for sure. I hate to see a team this good. This goes for the Steelers as well. Just such a good team, man. Such a good team all the way around. And it just get destroyed by bad QB play. The most important position I understand going out and getting Deshaun Watson. But, of course, Cleveland always finds a way to screw it up. But just having built this team over the years, great drafting, the free agents, and then just having it fall apart by not having your starting quarterback. Because this team with Watson, the way it looks right now on paper, could win this division, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
think they arguably have the best defense, arguably have the best running back, and arguably would have the best quarterback in the whole division. So, this team could go 11-6, 10-12-5 with the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and I want to touch on the defensive side of the ball real quick, just highlight some names. Myles Garrett, we all know he's a freak of league. They brought back Jadeveon Clowney. Jeremiah Owusu, an interesting young man, a little Swiss Army knife of a player. He can kind of go anywhere.
Pretty good on it.
He's a football player. I like Jacoby Phillips a lot. And their secondary, Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, John Johnson III, Greg Newsome, and let's not forget about Greedy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stout, secondary. They got a lot. Like you said, it's kind of, they have such a great team. They're just missing the missing link. But there's also been some drama around the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
With Kareem Hunt. I think he asked for, he wanted an extension, and if he didn't get the extension, he wanted a trade. Asked for the trade, they said, "No, you can't go."
Yo, NO, I'm looking for the dough because I'm trying to get paid, says
Whoa.
Kareem Hunt.
Oh, schoolboy lose on the mic, boys.
Free Kareem Hunt, man. Trade him. Trade him to, I'm not going to say the Eagles. It's probably not the best case scenario, but selfishly, I want the Eagles to trade for him. Who are some good candidates, though? Falcons?
Falcons. The Texans would be cool.
No, yeah.
But,
That would be cool.
I mean, there's a number of teams, but I want to see him get
Miami?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be...
I want to see Chase Edmonds, though.
Ooh, that would be nice.
I want to see Kareem Hunt be a workhorse. So wherever he can go to be a workhorse.
I mean, in my opinion, he's a top 8, top 10 running back in the league. I think pretty much anywhere he goes, he'll probably be a workhorse. I mean, Nick Chubb's one of those few guys that are better than him, but I mean, there's not... Buffalo would be very amazing, actually. But I don't know. But yeah, free Kareem Hunt. If not, pay him big money because he deserves it. He's a big reason. I think he wants to be in Cleveland. I think he's just worried about the Deshaun Watson contract and not being able to get paid. So move me now or forever hold your peace or pay him, but we'll see.
What's your outlook for Amari Cooper?
This is with Brissett.
Yeah.
I like Amari Cooper. I think he's a top 15 receiver in the NFL. I know Madden has him in the top 10. That's a little...
That's a stretch.
We're not doing that.
That's a stretch.
But I'll give him top 15 because I do appreciate his route running, and he makes big plays when called upon. So I'll give him that. He's a great low key, not a big ego like they had with Landry and Odell. So I do like that about Amari Cooper. He's
kind of got an ego, dude.
Maybe an ego, but he's not loud. You never hear about Amari Cooper. He just goes out and he plays football. And I think that'll be refreshing, especially in Cleveland, like the Cleveland fans. And I think he's a good number one target, regardless of who's playing quarterback. And the lack of weapons they have, maybe not lack of weapons they have, but the lack of, people who have proven themselves in the receiving core, I think he will go a long way in terms of being the number one and carrying the, heavy lifting.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, he's going to get the targets. He's the alpha on that team. It's just, going from Deshaun throwing you the ball to Jacoby in a run-first offense, that kind of caps his potential.
Is he a lock for 900 yards?
Yeah.
You think that he's a lock for 1,000 yards?
I would think so.
Really?
I think he breaks 1,000 yards.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see how. I mean, barring injury, I see him breaking 1,000 yards. I think he's a good wide receiver. I mean, I call him Pooper Scooper, but
he's good, man. There's no other way around it.
It's just there's a lot of things working against him.
Right.
But what's your record for these Cleveland Browns?
This is with Jacoby Brissett playing 17 games. I have them going 6-11.
Ooh!
And it hurts, man, because I love these teams, the Steelers and the Browns, all the way around. I love David Njoku is going to be an awesome player this year. Nick Chubb is going to probably lead the league in rushing yards. But I think QB play goes a long way. Like, you have to... But, see, that's the other thing, too. The running game is so gosh darn good that they can win a lot of games that way.
Yeah.
Especially against, like, the bad teams. They played Carolina, the Jets, Atlanta, Houston. In those 4 games, you could run the ball 40 times and win just fine. So, like, that's... I'll have them going 7-10.
Hey, come on, man. That's my record.
Just because I think Nick Chubb can single-handedly do a lot of damage. And I like the addition of Amari Cooper. I think Njoku's set up. And then their defense, in my opinion, will be a top 10 defense in the league. So
yeah, I have them 7-10 also. And if they had Deshaun, I'd have them going 10-7. So a 3-win difference between Jacoby and Deshaun. But all the reasons you mentioned, like, they're still kind of a scary team with the good defense in that run game. I mean, golly, Nick Chubb's going to eat a lot. Kareem Hunt's going to eat a lot. Maybe Dearness Johnson a little bit, man. But you got any bold predictions for these Brownie boys?
Yeah, I've got one.
You got a brownie point?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do.
Are you building suspense? What's going on?
No.
You sweating on it?
Yeah, I am sweating tremendously. But I think my bold prediction is Denzel. Well, I want to say Greg Newsome leads the NFL in interceptions.
Is Greg Newsome the Northwestern dude?
Correct.
Oh, man, he's going to be good.
I say I want to say Denzel Ward, but the thing with lockdown corners, they tend to throw to the other way. They tend to, look the other way when they see Denzel Ward on one side. And I think that's going to force a lot of balls towards Greg Newsome and Greedy Williams. But I think Greg Newsome has that like ball hawk freak kind of tendencies.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's got kind of freak tendencies. I'm going to be honest. Greg Newsome has a lot of upside.
They have a lot of freak corners.
Yeah, even Martin Emerson, I didn't like the pick, but he's a good number 4 corner they drafted out of Mississippi State.
Good depth there.
So I'll say Greg Newsome leads the NFL in interceptions, and he gets 8.
Okay, I got one for you. I like that one. Nick Chubb wins his first rushing title. Isn't that hard to believe?
That ain't bold, but
it's not bold, but it's like something like you thought he would have won already.
Yeah.
He's always like top 3.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is Nick Chubb's best year.
In terms of yards and touchdowns?
Just,
yards
yeah,
per carry?
we always say like Nick Chubb is the best, and then this year he's going to be really good. At least in terms of, he might not score, 12, 10 touchdowns, but I mean, he's going to go nuclear. He's going to be, he's stronger and faster than he's ever been. He looks so gosh darn good in those workout videos. He's just different than any running back in the NFL. And he's just that much better. And I really like that. I think he should be the favorite. He should be the favorite to be the rushing leader.
He should be, yeah. I have another bold prediction. David Njoku will finally be a top 10
love that.
Tight end.
Oh, I love that.
I think this is his year to emerge, man. And I think Jacoby Brissett really favors tight ends.
Yes. And Njoku is basically a receiver, if we're being honest.
He's a freak. He's been a freak since how long is this, like his 5th year?
Yeah, he's been in a doghouse.
Doghouse. And
Austin Hooper was there, and now he is going to get unleashed. And the cool fact about Njoku they always called him the Chief. That was kind of his thing. And he finally, this offseason, by the Native Americans, is now officially a real chief.
Did he eat bison?
He had to go through the gauntlet to become a real chief, and he did do it. So he's officially a chief, and that is another reason why I am backing your bold prediction.
Thank you. Do you have another one?
Nope.
I've got one. There's going to be a headline in the Cleveland newspaper after Week 6 that says Deshaun Watson taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. And it's a front page picture of him pooping in the toilet with thumbs up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's misleading because you think that it's going to be a picture.
Is he in prison?
No, he's in the locker room.
How about Deshaun Watson goes to prison and he creates longest yard number 2 and wins MVP?
He's not going to prison.
I know, this is all bold,
Yeah. But yeah, everyone thinks they're talking about him actually taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, but really he's just taking a poop number 2 in the toilet.
That's clever, man.
Thank you.
How about, is it possible that Owosu Koromoa wins Defensive Player of the Year?
I really like that one.
What about most tackles? I don't know if he's that type of tackle machine.
I don't think he's that kind of guy. He's more like a ball hawk. He can do a little bit of everything.
He's like a Darius Leonard almost, but not as freaky.
He's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say as freaky.
But he's projected 122 tackles, which
Dang.
I don't know if that's
a lot.
Top 10 or top 20, but
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's going to be a star one day.
Me too. I believe that as well.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's cool on me.
All right, let's move on. Last but not least is... last but not yeast.
Corbin Malk.
I was whimsically floating on the elevator. Let's go to the Baltimore Ravens. Do your Raven sound, bud?
I'll tell you what, man. You need to address them more correctly.
Who?
It's the 2021 Super Bowl 2022 Super Bowl champs, Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, you have them winning the Super Bowl?
I do. That's my bold prediction.
Wow. You jumped right into that, son.
I did, man. I'll throw it out there. You know why?
You love everything about the Ravens. I'm starting to realize this. You like birds.
What do you mean?
You're an Eagles fan, you're a Ravens fan, you're a Cardinals fan, you're a Seahawks fan.
Am I, though?
I think I wish I knew the word for fascination.
I don't think
birds.
I like the Falcons, Cardinals, Seahawks, but I do like the Ravens and Eagles.
I thought you had a fear of birds.
Eagles personally and Ravens just realistically. I think Lamar Jackson will be the NFL MVP. I think we get back to the old Lamar Jackson. What is there not to like about Lamar Jackson? Yes, he needs to improve as a thrower. And yes, I mean, injuries are freak accidents. But other than that, why should we not expect Lamar to be an MVP?
He's gotten beefy. He's real beefy now. I think he weighs
Is that bad?
225. Can he run?
Couldn't he always run? I think he's a top 10 fastest player in the NFL, if you ask me.
I know, but adding weight, doesn't that slow you down? I think he's trying to make himself into a pocket passer.
So you're trying to tell me Lamar Jackson's not going to run anymore?
One of my bold predictions is that he runs less than he ever has in his career.
I mean, that wouldn't be that surprising, but is that less than 800 yards?
Yes.
No, that ain't going to happen, dude.
He got beefy to be a pocket passer, man.
No, he's going to run, man. That's his forte. That's how he's going to get his money, man. That's how he's going to get his bread. That's how he's won MVP, too, man. So, but, I mean, obviously they've had some turnover. Just like the Steelers, you know, more of the stable franchises having some turnover. Biggest move, trading Marquise Brown. Sammy Watkins is gone. And now it's a very young receiving group, led by Rashad Bateman, first-round pick last year. I'm a big believer in him. I think they're asking a lot of him to be the number one, but I think he's more than capable. I think he's a budding superstar. I think he'll become a household name in 2022. A big fan. I think he's a more athletic Keenan Allen, if you ask me. Devin Duvernay, I expect him, third-round pick in 2020. He's got some speed. He looks good. He was a good Texas receiver. And James Prochet, I'm also a big fan of at SMU. And let's not forget, man, Mark Andrews is still here. Was the best tight end in football last year. He's always called upon to be their number one weapon. That rapport with Lamar Jackson ain't going nowhere. He's as reliable as they come in the NFL. And then just through the draft, what Baltimore did in the draft has been absolutely absurd. Tyler Linderbaum, offensive lineman. He's been dealing with injuries, but in my opinion, he was the best center in the draft. Huge get. They have Ronnie Staley up front, Ben Powers, Kevin Zeitler, and bringing in Morgan Moses, beef up that offensive line. Yes, they got rid of Marquise Brown, but this team is known for its ground and pound. It's horsepower. They don't necessarily need Marquise Brown. This is a, stick your head in the ground, get to work type of offense. Rely on the running game. You get J.K. Dobbins back. You get Gus Edwards back. You bring in prison Mike Davis for some depth. It's just a team that's just going to eat you up, man. And big believer in this team in 2022.
I have to agree with you on being a believer in this team. I think this team last year had 25 players on IR.
Wow.
Talk about
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's half the roster.
Bitten by the injury bug.
How many did they carry? 53?
Yeah, 53.
25 of those guys were out?
Yeah, I mean 25, yeah.
You got to be sick in the
At some
head.
point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're still one of the best teams in the league. Like you mentioned, Hollywood Brown left, but I don't see him leaving that big of a hole. He's kind of a speed merchant. They have
speed out
they
there.
have the heir in line who's going to be their number one for years to come, Rashad Bateman.
Oh, when you were out, I said Rashad Bateman will be a more athletic Keenan Allen. What do you have to say about that?
I see him. I don't see them the same.
Why?
I feel like Rashad Bateman's like a big body and can do.
He's 6 foot.
I think Rashad Bateman's more of a weapon.
How would you?
Like
what would
more
you
of a threat.
Do you know a lot about Bateman?
Yeah, I know his mom.
What do you? Who would you compare him to mostly? Stephon Diggs.
They compare him to Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I love that one as well. That's good.
I see Chris Godwin in him a lot.
Yeah, okay, that's fair with me. Similar to Keenan Allen. Yeah.
Keenan Allen, what? I guess so, yeah, in a way, but I feel like he's got more, like...
He's more athletic.
An outside threat, and like he can do it all, alpha dude. Keenan Allen's kind of been put in a box, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin hasn't.
Yeah, I guess I like the Chris Godwin one a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Rashad Bateman's going to be a stud, and I think the training camp shown. And I heard you talking about Duvernay.
Yes.
I think we're all sleeping on him.
Yeah, he's going to start, man, that Z spot.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say one of my bold predictions. Devin Duvernay is like a really solid number 2.
Okay.
Very solid.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Very surprisingly good.
Okay.
And he returns 3 punt returns for a touchdown and 2 kick returns for a touchdown.
Wow.
He went to UT, dude, and he's a speed merchant. I like him.
I like him a lot, too. He was a third-round pick. I hope he gets that opportunity to be that number 2, because I'm a lot. Even the little plays I had for him last year, he's a good player overall.
Yeah, he just seems like a very solid player. And did you tell him the news about JK?
He's practicing.
Yeah, it's all over now, baby blue.
And he's already said he's going to be there week 1. Yeah, you take the man at his word, man.
He's been really vocal about like how he's ready to go, and when he's going to come in and he's going to rip some faces off.
He's got a lot to prove, man, if you want me to be honest with you.
Last time we saw him play, man, he was averaging 6 yards a carry. I hope he keeps that same energy.
Yeah, I love JK. It doesn't sound like Gus Edwards will be there week 1. It says it's unlikely, but getting both of that running duo back will be just so good for Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins is special. I'm going to be honest. He's a different breed, too, man, because, I mean, his Ohio State numbers were crazy. After Zeke, it was like Dobbins is putting better numbers than Zeke. More explosive. He's a big dude. And then his rookie year, he was like, man, this guy can build different.
Yeah, I was on J.K. Dobbins' rookie bandwagon hardcore, like a free.
Yeah, you'd really like him.
I'm still a believer, and I love to hear the news that we got today that he's active, he's ready to run. And boy, howdy, that's going to make this Ravens offense scary again. With Lamar beefed up, ready to not run as much.
Why do you keep saying that?
I'm just kidding. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek. He's just beefed up. And usually when people beef up, they get slower.
He's going to run a ton.
But he's not the same as the rest of us.
He beefed up because he got hurt. He's not trying to get hurt again.
He got hurt because he flipped into the end zone.
And he got hurt because he's getting his tail whipped a lot.
That's true, but he does. I mean, maybe he beefed up so he can take a beating.
Yes, correct.
You better watch out because he's got a Konami code.
I'll say, I just want to mention this. I think we did mention the secondaries being the best, but this might be the best secondary in football. If you want to feature the secondary along with the cornerbacks and safeties.
Marlon Humphrey.
He's back and healthy. He's a top 5 when healthy. Yeah, he's locked down. I don't care what no one says.
No, Marlon Humphrey's one of the best.
And then Marcus Peters on the other side, yeah, he's not locked down, but
he's old.
He gets that attention because Humphrey's locked down, but Peters is known for being that ball hawk. He's had those big interception years, so he's going to get a lot of those opportunities again as well this year. And then Marcus Williams, the safety from the Saints, coming over young. I think he's only 23 or 24. He's a great player, along with Kyle Hamilton and Chuck Clark. I mean, dude, that is a heck of a safety group. That might be number 1.
Yeah, Marcus Peters is just old, but I like his dog mentality. And he talks a lot of AstroTurf.
Yeah, I mean, he had that knee injury. He's, 31 now probably, but If he's back and healthy, that's huge for them.
The guy we were talking about earlier, who we couldn't think of, was David
Ojabo. Yep, that's who it was.
He's probably going to be out for a while, but whenever he comes back, that's another weapon to add to that strong defense out there, man.
And Travis Jones out of UConn is another guy. Their draft was so good, it's crazy. I mean, they just loaded up. Bringing back Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, Michael Pierce, Justin Matabuki, Travis Jones. That's all on the interior defensive line. Your edge rushers, Tyus Bowser, Odafe Owe, Justin Houston, along with David Ojabo. Crazy. That's loaded, man. Rest in peace, Jalen Ferguson, man. That was crazy news. I'm sorry to hear that.
Who's Jalen Ferguson?
Remember the guy who passed away this offseason for Baltimore?
The young dude?
The linebacker, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
Patrick Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Can we see him continue to be good?
Which Fuller brother is good?
Kyle?
I
think so, yeah.
He's on this team, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
The cornerback?
Yeah. Kyle Fuller.
Really?
He's behind Marcus Peters.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Is it you didn't show on yours?
No, I have Kayvon Seymour and Jalen Armour-Davis, who they drafted.
I see that as well.
Huh.
Did they just sign?
They must have recently signed him.
Yeah, I got Kyle. That's pretty nice.
That was the Broncos corner.
That was him?
Did you like him?
It's weird. I tried to keep up with him, but he didn't really...
Maybe it's Kendall Fuller. That's a better one. The Washington football team guy?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know which one.
Maybe they're both not very good.
I think neither of them are as good as they once were.
Correct.
I
I agree.
They're both falling off a little bit.
Yes.
You got any... what's your record?
My record for the Baltimore Ravens this year is 12-5, winning the division.
Shoot. Winning the Super Bowl.
Also, yeah, my bold prediction is they win the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. Rashad Bateman becomes a household name. And they have top 3 defense.
All right, I have them going 11-6.
Yeah.
Lamar rushes less than he ever has.
Okay.
That could be dope. And Rashad Bateman is the first ever Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens in history.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Steve Smith wasn't?
Nope.
Really?
No.
Anquan Bolden?
No. They haven't had a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Torrey Smith?
They've never had.
Torrey Smith had to have gotten once.
No, it's the first Pro Bowl.
Derek Mason?
No.
No, you're lying.
I'm serious. It said it would be the first Baltimore Ravens wide receiver.
Wow, that's actually kind of crazy.
I know. I thought it was insane because I was like, I know their wide receivers haven't been like great, but they've had some good ones.
Derek Mason never has. Wow, interesting. Or Anquan Bolden. That's kind of surprising.
But Anquan Bolden
was old.
Yeah.
But he was good.
He was good, but he wasn't Pro Bowl good.
800, 900 yards probably.
That's not Pro Bowl good.
Maybe not, but wow, yeah, I'm just shocked to hear that.
It's crazy. I thought that was an interesting.
Over 100,000 yards for Bateman.
Over.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Hollywood. How many yards did Hollywood Brown have?
He had over 1,000.
Yeah, and 8 touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
But Rashad Bateman's
Different.
gonna be like 25% target share.
Do you believe that?
Maybe not that much, like 20.
You think he'll be close to Andrews in targets?
Yes, I think it's gonna be Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews show.
Do you think they'll both get 125 targets?
Yes. I don't see how they don't.
I like this.
Unless they really don't like Lamar and trust Lamar.
No, Rashad Bateman's going to absolutely feast this year.
I agree.
And he is in my opinion, he's a superstar talent.
I think he's a can't miss prospect, Rashad.
Yes, 100%. He's a stud, dude. I mean, I'm not kidding when I mention Keenan Allen and Diggs and Chris Godwin. Like, he's that type of guy. He was he a first-round pick? Second-round? He was a second-round pick.
For Minnesota?
No, Bateman.
Where did he go?
Bateman went to Arizona State.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Look it up.
He went to Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Yeah,
That's what I
sorry.
was
Same
saying.
color. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Vikings because we talked about Diggs.
No.
You're right. My bad.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure. 'Cause
Tyler Johnson.
there's someone I get confused with that I say Minnesota or something, and it's not.
Yeah, it is. Because him and Tyler Johnson were there.
The Bucks guy, Tyler Johnson?
Yes.
He went to Minnesota?
Yep.
Them Gophers, man.
And it was because Tyler Johnson was real good, but everyone was like, man, Bateman is.
What's the difference between a gopher and a beaver?
One eats with his toes.
Which one? I think a gopher would.
Yeah.
I think gopher's a beaver on land.
I think beavers like to do things.
Yeah, they're very busy people.
Very
Or
aggressive as
creature.
well.
What's the difference between a gopher and a prairie dog?
One of them ended up in my shorts.
Which one?
The prairies.
You seem like a gopher kind of guy.
I don't know how that works. But
That's a story for another time. But we are talking about creatures, and I want to talk about the ravens. Ravens as a bird. They're very intelligent and very they have memory.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you go to the grocery store and you throw down like a little scrap for them, something for them to eat. They're going to remember you and love you for the rest of their life, and they're going to recognize you every time they see you, and they're going to be hanging around. But if you scorn them, let's say you shoo them off, they're going to resent you, and so are all their friends. So the point of this story is be nice to your local raven. Get on their good side. Just throw them a little breadcrumbs, throw them a little, PB&J, throw them a little something, something so they can feed their fam.
How often is it that you see a raven?
You know what? After reading this fact, I would say it's about a year or two ago, I've noticed that ravens are all... Maybe it's not... Oh, what's the difference between a raven and a crow?
I don't know. They look similar, but I know they're not
Maybe
the
I'm
same.
talking about crows, but all I know is... Let's pretend crows and ravens are the same.
Are they?
What's the difference? I don't know.
Let me look it up while you discuss with yourself.
Well, it could be a crow that I'm talking about that, like, they have, like, emotions and they have feelings that, like, if you are nice to them, they'll remember your friendly face. But if you're mean to them, they will poop on your car when you're out and about, and they'll watch you, and, it's kind of like they're investigators, but no one pays them. They don't work for anyone.
Ravens have bigger and curvier beaks relative to crows. While both species have bristles at the base of their beak, the ravens are noticeably longer. Its throat feathers are also quite shaggy. Common ravens are much less common than American crows.
What does it say about ravens knowing people?
I'm not sure. Is that a real thing?
Maybe it's crows.
You got one following you or something?
Yeah, and his name's Derek.
Derek?
But I think it's the same one. I'm not really sure.
What does he talk to you about?
He doesn't talk in English. He makes noises.
Like what? Caw, caw.
No, it's more like a...
That might be a pigeon.
Yeah, I know what a pigeon is. Those things are dumb as a rock. But they're cute, I gotta tell you that. I'll tell you that much. A pigeon is the cutest bird I've ever seen, man.
They're lovebirds.
They're dumb
that's
as
a dove. Never mind.
Yeah, pigeons like stinky. They like trash. And you know how they just walk on the sidewalk and look for... They're kind of cute, man. I think they're the cutest bird, personally.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what a raven's about, too, man. I know Edgar Allan Poe is about it, too.
Ravens cooperate with friends, not foes.
What's that mean?
It means ravens understand the relations among others.
So if you're nice to him, he's cool with you? If you're mean, he's not cool?
Let's say you're walking by a raven and he's looking at you. I'd say do a little, a hat tip, just to let him know that he's looking at you, and maybe next time he'll give you, not poop on your car or something.
But are they like violent?
I don't.
Like
no.
if I were to be aggressive towards it in a
No,
demeaning way.
No, it'd fly away, but that's not to say that you're not going to regret that action, because you could come back, he could get all his friends together and they drop deuce right on your windshield you can't see for a while.
I mean, if that would have happened, then we're in an all-out war at that point.
Get the BB gun out.
I'll get
But
it.
I would, dude, I'd be scared to do that because next thing you know, there's power lines outside. You walk outside, you look up, there's a whole gang, and they're just watching you everywhere you go, and it turns into the point where it's like that movie Birds.
Hey,
They follow you everywhere.
If they stay up there long enough, though, they're gonna get that electrical shock in their bosom.
No, no, they know how to stand, dude.
Now I'll tell you what, man. If those Ravens have something to say, let it be known.
All I'm saying is, be nice to your local raven. That's the moral of the story. Raven, crow, I think they're the same species of bird.
Do you think that's a cool logo? A Baltimore Raven? You think that's pretty cool?
I think it's really cool. I like their colors a lot. And I like that it comes from Edgar Allan Poe.
What do you know about him the most?
I've read some of his short stories, like The Heart in the Wall or whatever,
Yeah,
where it beats.
he's pretty dark individual.
It's very dark. He was, just looking at him, you're like, dang, that guy had some issues, like dark. Dude, if emo music was back in the day, he'd be jamming it and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those very
Tonight
disturbing.
will be the night that I will fall for you over again. He'd be listening to that with his hair over his eye.
Yeah, and with
But at the
bodies in
same
his
time,
wall.
I can't say that because he was such a smart and good writer. He'd probably have his, P's and Q's about him and wouldn't give in to that.
He'd have really good Twitter fingers.
Yeah, but they always say Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers.
I wonder what he would be tweeting about.
He'd probably say, it's been a whimsical day.
Because, think about, poets back in the day that would, have a little candle lit, writing some short stories
in
in
their
their
typewriter,
in their little small room with
candle on.
a window. It's dark outside. Maybe, some mist or some little drizzle, light drizzle.
That'd be interesting.
Going to town on some paper, man. They'd be, doing their thing on the short stories. What would they be doing now, man? They putting that on Twitter? They're writing short stories still? What's going on with that?
I think they'd be even shorter stories. It'd be like, whimsically saw a dog and his name was Turtle Deline.
Probably got blue hair.
But they'd probably write something so, we would find it unnecessary, very detailed and beautifully written. And everyone would be on Twitter and be like, dude, you could have said that in 3 words, but it'd be something real extravagant.
Yeah, if he definitely took it to Twitter, he would get absolutely blasted.
I've been wallowing in my tears for 3 fortnights now, and I cannot seem to get the bearing of the Bering Sea, where the night befalleth on me.
I think Twitter
has
it's been a very negative thing. People just go on there and blast people and stuff, man. It's just a negative platform.
I stay away from the Twitter sphere.
Yes, it's a good idea.
But, sure there's good use, bad. All social media, you can get good and bad out of it.
I don't know, man. Is there really
My advice to you is just follow sports stuff.
That's all I do. Beat writers and stuff.
As a man, my name's Aaron, I would just say to follow sports stuff and keep all the negativity out because you can't be sad when you're reading about sports. And that's why you're listening to this podcast right now. And we hope that we're making you happy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I do personally. I know that it's out there. Even if you go click on anything, it could be an ESPN post about anything. And it's
Brittany Griner.
Negative.
I steer clear from the Brittany Griner saga.
It's just I try to stay away from that as well. I don't know. It's just obviously there's good and bad, but it seems like bad is outweighing it. Which is fine.
There's a way to navigate social media and be all right.
I just feel for the people that feel a need to just comment negative things for no reason. I just feel bad for those people.
It's probably coming from a place of pain.
But just to think you would never talk or act to someone like that in person, but since you have a platform and no one knows who you are, your Abby or your profile picture is a picture of a dove on a bridge lighting a cigarette.
Yeah, that's just the way society is now, man.
Is there a solution? Or we just ride it and ride it?
My only solution is unplug and plug in.
It only takes 10 days for a human to revert back to its survival tactics.
Well, what kind of circumstance would I have to be in for me to be in survival mode for 10 days?
Oh, just out and about with no electronics or anything, like having to hunt for your
do some
food,
work.
create your own fire, make a shelter, find some food. Actually living out there with nothing with you, man. It'll kick right in, man. It don't take that long.
Yeah, but like, what does that mean? Like, your body will start eating itself in terms of
Yeah, it absolutely will, man. It'll start eating your legs and stuff.
I know, but like,
You'll have
what is
muscle
survival mode? Like, your brain will be
like revert back to being an actual
caveman?
human. Yeah, humans aren't meant to be on like
I wanna-
phones and technology.
I want to do that and see how my primal instincts are.
Yeah,
I want to see what it's like to.
you have them.
I want to see what it's like to relieve myself in nature and how I go about it being primal. Am I going to squatty potty? I'm going to lay down. Am I going to bury? Am I going to get in the fetal position? Am I going to wallow? I want to know what it would be like, so I want to do this experiment to see.
You can. It will kick in. I mean, it's hard to picture like what you would be doing out there. How would you do it? But like 7 to 10 days, your body naturally kicks back into its survival, like the way we once lived. And
Can you make it back
just
from
like
that?
natural instincts that we have that are kind of being hidden with, being so comfortable in today's society. But it'll eventually kick in, like 7 to 10 days, and now you're like realizing like you can hunt and like fish and create fires and shelters and live very minimally, but still survive just fine because you have human instincts.
Can you snap out of it? Let's say if you're rescued or you decide.
I don't know if you would want to. I think once you,
I think you would.
maybe you would want to. You'd probably want to get back to that comfortable feeling you had previously. But like, in my opinion, like once your survival instincts kick in and you're living and you're surviving and
What
you
if you're dying?
have a process, then it's different. Dying from what, like a disease or?
No, you can't survive. There's not enough resources for you wherever you're
Not
at.
everyone. It's survival of the fittest. I mean, some people won't make it, and some people will. But
I think it depends on where you're at.
What if you're in the tundra?
Good luck.
Good luck.
You ain't finding much.
No, you're not. You're gonna have to eat a lot of snow.
And a lot of sea lion.
If you come across a polar bear, count your blessings. That's it for you.
How would you react if you're coming to visit me and I said I was gonna go primal for a while, and you come out to the tundra and you walk up to a human crouched over a sea lion and I'm eating it as it's living.
What would I do?
And I turn around and I make the most primal face and I screech and my face is covered in sea lion blood.
Yeah, I'd grab the rope tied around my waist and I'd wrap it around your neck. And
You would anchor me.
I would. I mean,
You jump in.
I would. I'd let it go.
You take me off.
You wouldn't be able to get out of that. No.
I just pictured that scenario in my head, and it's very disturbing.
Yeah,
if
it is,
the
man.
roles were reversed, like your bare buns out there, and you're just neck deep in a sea lion. You're not even chewing. And you turn around with a primal smirk.
At this point, I would hope that you would, put a rope around my neck and do the best you can to.
I don't think I would take you out. I think I'd put.
Maybe not take me out, but at least keep me like captive.
I would. The thing I would do as a brother is I'd take off my jacket and put it around you and say, Luke, it's going to be okay.
If I'm eating seal at this point, dude, I might be,
Yeah, no, it's a risk I had to take, man.
I mean, could you come back from that, you think?
I don't know. I mean, you might have seen too much. You might have done too much that you don't want to talk about, and you just might just.
That's a horrible scenario, actually.
You might have to.
Am I like clinically insane, or is it
No,
more
I-
just
I-
like I'm hungry?
You know, it's weird. I don't think we could take you to a hospital or like a psychiatrist or a mental hospital. I think at that point we have to take you to the veterinarian. You're an animalistic, dude. We'd have to euthanize you.
I could be a good house pet.
I don't know who would want you walking around their house as a pet.
I mean, it'd be easy. As long as you.
I don't know that. I don't know how crazy you get.
That's true.
What if at like certain points at night you freak out?
No, I would be a horrible house pet. To be honest, I'd want to be
You'd
out
have
in
to be kenneled.
nature
Yeah, we'd have to kennel you.
because you'd have to.
I think
feed
we'd
me
have to
and-
take you to the vet and euthanize you, to be honest. If you're making primal noises and eating sea lion and not speaking.
Yeah, just take me out, man. That's the end of me.
But it would be nice to I'd hold your hand as they did it.
No, man, you can just put me under the ice and just. You throw me under the ice and then
put the ice back
on
over.
top, and then I just go out that way. Because I would
I'd
freeze.
probably
You would
not-
probably freeze in like a couple minutes.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't feel nothing.
Or like an orca would come and swipe you up.
That'd probably be pretty scary.
Orcas don't eat people. But it'd be fine.
They'd drown you.
That'd be fine though, you know. At that point,
Yeah, at that point.
you can have me. At that point,
You got any more words on football?
J.K. Dobbins.
I love him.
Do you expect him to be just fine, or
Actually, one of my bold predictions is that he wins the rushing title.
Ooh, is he gonna see that type of work?
Why wouldn't he?
ACL.
He's healed, man.
Yeah,
You
but
heard it this
Saquon
time.
last year, remember, it took him a while to get juiced on it.
JK's different.
J.K. just started practicing now.
They're taking it slow.
He's got 4 weeks. He got a month to be ready.
You don't think he's been working out?
No, he's healthy. His ACL's healthy. It's just getting back to football. Like Saquon was healthy, but
Yeah, but
I think it takes a year.
JK's going into a much better situation.
Yeah, but is he gonna see the big work?
I hope. Who do they have? Mike Davis?
Yeah.
We saw him last year, dude. That guy's washed.
Yeah, but he's gonna play if those guys aren't ready. Is over under 900 yards.
Over.
Over under 8 touchdowns.
Over.
Oh, you like him?
Oh, I'm always on JK's side, man. He's like Saquon to me, man. He's like a son to me.
Not a lot of talk on Gus Edwards. Is he
He's still rehabbing.
over under 600 yards rushing?
Under.
It ain't gonna take a lot, man. I think those guys they do their thing. They're very efficient. But alright, that's it, yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. As always, we love the support. We love you guys. Make sure you hit us up at our email, forgetwhatyouheardpodcast@gmail.com. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to tell us, anything. We're always here to listen. We will respond, even shout you out on the pod. But once again, thanks for the support, love. Have a great week. We got another division coming very shortly. Peace, love, and happiness.
Espana.
J.K. Dobbins is